Have you ever found yourself caught in that familiar, frustrating cycle of waiting? You know, the one where you're constantly wishing for something better to happen, dreaming of a brighter future, yet simultaneously feeling like you're stuck in neutral? Perhaps you're hoping for that golden opportunity to suddenly knock on your door, or a magical breakthrough to transform your life overnight, or maybe even someone else to swoop in and solve all your problems for you. It's a subtle but insidious trap, a passive stance where we unconsciously cede control over our own destiny, placing our hopes in external forces rather than internal resolve. If any of this resonates with you, if you've ever felt that subtle pull of expectation without action, then today's powerful message, straight from the legendary personal development master Jim Rohn, is precisely what you need to hear. It's a simple yet profound call to arms. Stop expecting and start acting. This isn't just another catchy motivational phrase to add to your collection. It's a fundamental philosophy, a potent rallying cry for taking audacious, proactive ownership of your life. It's an invitation to shift from the passenger seat to the driver's seat, to reclaim your agency and become the architect of your own aspirations. Over the next few moments, we are going to dive deep into the incredible power of this mindset, exploring how embracing Jim Rohn's wisdom can profoundly reshape your entire trajectory, enabling you to move beyond stagnant wishing and into vibrant, impactful doing. We'll unpack the nuances of what it truly means to stop expecting, not in a cynical sense, but in a liberated one, and then illuminate the path to starting meaningful action, one deliberate step at a time. This isn't about mere inspiration, it's about practical transformation, a blueprint for turning dormant dreams into tangible realities. Jim Rohn, with his unparalleled clarity and profound insight, often highlighted that the critical distinction between those who achieve remarkable success and those who perpetually fall short frequently lies in their fundamental attitude towards action. To stop expecting is not, by any means, an admonition to abandon hope or to cease setting ambitious goals. On the contrary, it signifies a conscious, deliberate choice to disengage from passively placing your faith in external factors that are utterly beyond your control. It's about consciously relinquishing the detrimental victim mentality, shedding the debilitating belief that you must idly wait for circumstances, or indeed other people, to bestow upon you what you genuinely desire. This subtle but crucial distinction liberates you from the shackles of external dependency and empowers you to look inward for the solutions and opportunities you seek. Consider, for instance, the individual who yearns for a significant salary increase but makes no concerted effort to enhance their skills, improve their job performance, or actively seek out new responsibilities. Or perhaps the aspiring entrepreneur who harbors vivid dreams of launching a successful venture yet perpetually waits for the perfect idea, the ideal market conditions, or the right investor, to the point where they never actually take that crucial first step. This kind of passive waiting, born from misplaced expectation, is a stealthy thief of potential. It invariably leads to debilitating procrastination, profound disappointment, and, most tragically, the irreversible forfeiture of precious, time-sensitive opportunities that could have truly transformed their lives. It's the silent killer of ambition, a seductive illusion that somehow, magically, things will align without concerted, personal effort. We tell ourselves we are being patient, but in reality, we are often just being passive, surrendering our power to the fickle whims of chance. This is where the true core of Jim Rohn's electrifying message truly shines through. Start acting. Action, in its purest and most unadulterated form, is the singular, indispensable bridge connecting the ethereal realm of your dreams with the tangible reality of your existence. It is the sole conduit between your current circumstances and the elevated destination you aspire to reach. Jim Rohn consistently underscored the paramount importance of being proactive, of embracing complete and unwavering personal responsibility for every facet of your life. You yearn for a healthier, more vibrant body? Don't merely expect it to materialize. Begin exercising consistently and making nutritious dietary choices today. You aspire to propel your career to unprecedented heights? Don't passively sit and await a promotion. Proactively acquire new, valuable skills, diligently seek out a knowledgeable mentor, and consciously create value wherever you can. Even the seemingly smallest, most insignificant actions possess the profound potential to generate monumental differences, provided they are executed with unwavering consistency and persistent dedication. It's the cumulative effect of these micro-actions, strung together over time, that builds an unstoppable momentum towards your grandest ambitions. This isn't about grandiose gestures. It's about disciplined, intentional steps. Think about the journey of someone who dreams of writing a book. If they simply sit and wait for that elusive perfect inspiration or for an imaginary period of absolute free time to miraculously appear, that book might very well remain an unwritten masterpiece. Instead, the action here involves committing to writing for a mere 30 minutes each day, regardless of whether inspiration strikes or not. It's showing up, consistently, and putting in the work. Or consider an individual aiming to save money for a crucial investment. Rather than passively anticipating a sudden, unexpected windfall, they proactively begin by judiciously cutting unnecessary expenses and consistently allocating a small, predetermined sum each month. These seemingly small, disciplined actions are the bedrock, the sturdy foundation upon which all substantial successes are meticulously built. They represent the active pursuit of learning, the continuous journey of self-development, and the relentless courage to transcend fear and break free from the suffocating confines of the comfort zone. It's about taking that first brave step into the unknown, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. To genuinely transition from a state of passive expectation to one of dynamic action, a profound and comprehensive shift in your fundamental mindset is absolutely imperative. This requires consciously abandoning the habitual tendency to blame external circumstances or other individuals for your current predicament. Instead, the focus must be laser-sharp on what you unequivocally can control, and then, with unwavering resolve, begin to forge a discernible difference. Self-discipline emerges as the pivotal, non-negotiable element for sustaining the crucial momentum of action, especially when you inevitably encounter daunting challenges or unforeseen obstacles that threaten to derail your progress. Jim Rohn firmly believed that success is never an arbitrary, serendipitous event. Rather, it is the direct and predictable outcome of consistently applying sound habits and making astute, deliberate decisions on a daily basis. It's the summation of consistent, smart choices. Remember this powerful truth. You do not, and indeed cannot, expect to perceive the entirety of the magnificent staircase before you embark upon that transformative first step. The journey begins with that singular, courageous stride. In conclusion, Jim Rohn's timeless and incredibly potent message, "Stop expecting and start acting," serves as an emphatic, profound reminder that you, and only you, are the supreme architect of your own extraordinary life. Do not, under any circumstances, squander your invaluable time, precious energy, or boundless potential waiting for things that lie entirely beyond the sphere of your personal control. Instead, redirect that vital energy, that innate drive, into meticulously crafting positive, meaningful changes through deliberate, intentional action and unwavering personal discipline. True success does not merely present itself. It is actively pursued, meticulously cultivated, and courageously seized. Choose one small, manageable action you can undertake right now, today, to propel yourself closer to your most cherished goals. Begin immediately, for your future, radiant and filled with possibility, eagerly awaits the powerful, transformative impact of your actions. That powerful directive from Jim Rohn isn't just about initiating a single step. It's a profound invitation to shift your entire paradigm, to move from the passive spectator to the active creator of your destiny. Think about it. Our lives are often a reflection of our daily habits, our consistent choices, and, most importantly, our sustained actions. Jim Rohn understood that true success isn't some grand, singular event that magically appears. Instead, it's the cumulative effect of small, deliberate efforts, performed consistently over time. This concept, often called the compound effect, is where the real magic happens. Imagine you want to improve your health. Waiting for the perfect diet or exercise routine, or for a sudden burst of motivation, often leads to indefinite delay. But choosing to walk for just 15 minutes extra each day, or replacing one sugary drink with water, seems almost insignificant on its own. Yet, when you repeat that small action daily for a month, then a year, the results are undeniable. You've not just walked more, you've built a habit, increased your energy, and significantly reduced your sedentary time. The physical changes are visible, but the mental shift, the confidence that comes from acting, is even more profound. You start to believe in your ability to change, because you've proven it to yourself through consistent action. This brings us to one of the biggest roadblocks to action, the trap of perfectionism. We often hold ourselves back, waiting for the ideal moment, the perfect plan, or the complete absence of obstacles. We expect everything to align perfectly before we even begin. Jim Rohn would argue that this is another form of passive expectation, expecting ideal conditions rather than creating them. The truth is, perfect conditions rarely materialize. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of unforeseen challenges. The person who waits for perfection often waits forever, while the person who embraces imperfect action makes progress, learns from mistakes, and adapts along the way. Starting before you feel completely ready is not a sign of recklessness. It's a sign of courage and a commitment to progress over stagnation. Consider the aspiring entrepreneur. They might dream of launching a groundbreaking product or service. If they wait until they have every detail meticulously planned, every funding source secured, and every potential problem identified and solved, they might never launch. Instead, the Rohn philosophy encourages them to take the first, imperfect step, validate an idea with a small group, build a minimal viable product, or simply start networking. These actions generate feedback, open new doors, and reveal the next necessary steps that wouldn't have been apparent from endless planning alone. Action doesn't just move you forward, it provides clarity. It's a powerful feedback loop that refines your direction far more effectively than passive contemplation ever could. Another critical aspect of stop expecting and start acting is understanding the internal locus of control. When you expect external factors to bring you success, you place your locus of control outside yourself. You become a victim of circumstance, waiting for luck, for others to act, or for favorable conditions to emerge. But when you embrace action, you reclaim your power. You recognize that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you absolutely control how you respond and what you do. This shift is liberating. It moves you from a position of powerlessness to one of proactive empowerment. You stop asking, "Why isn't this happening for me?" and start asking, "What can I do to make this happen?" This isn't to say that hope or setting goals are irrelevant. Quite the opposite. Hope becomes the fuel for your actions, and goals provide the direction. But the expectation that things will simply happen without your active participation is where the breakdown occurs. Jim Rohn's message is about transforming passive hope into active faith, faith in your ability to create, to learn, and to persevere through action. It's about developing the self-discipline to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. That daily commitment, even when uninspired, is what separates those who achieve from those who only dream. Think about developing a new skill, like learning a musical instrument or a new language. You could endlessly expect to suddenly become proficient, or you could act by dedicating 30 minutes each day to practice. The latter, however small, is the only path to mastery. This consistent effort not only builds skill but also builds character. It cultivates patience, resilience, and a deep understanding that significant achievements are earned, not granted. The satisfaction derived from building something brick by brick, through your own actions, is far greater and more sustainable than any fleeting joy from a lucky break. Furthermore, consider the psychological impact of consistent action. Every time you take a step, however small, towards your goal, you send a powerful message to yourself: I am capable. I am making progress. I am in control. This reinforces positive self-belief and builds momentum. Inaction, on the other hand, breeds doubt, frustration, and a sense of being stuck. It creates a negative cycle where the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Jim Rohn often talked about the dangers of drift and neglect. Neglecting to act today is a decision that compounds over time, leading to missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. So, how do we operationalize this philosophy? Start by identifying one area in your life where you've been passively expecting. Is it financial stability, career advancement, personal growth, or perhaps improving a relationship? Once identified, consciously reframe your approach. Instead of hoping for a raise, ask yourself, what specific skills can I acquire? What extra value can I deliver? Or what conversations can I initiate to earn that raise? Instead of expecting your health to improve, ask, what single, repeatable action can I take today to move towards better well-being? The questions shift from what will happen to me to what will I do? This isn't always easy. There will be days when motivation wanes, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the comfort of inaction is incredibly tempting. This is precisely when Jim Rohn's wisdom becomes most crucial. It's during these moments that the disciplined habit of action, even a small, seemingly insignificant one, becomes your greatest ally. It's about choosing courage over comfort, progress over perfection, and creation over contemplation. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single step, but it only continues through subsequent, consistent steps. Your actions are the building blocks of your future, and every deliberate action you take today is a powerful vote for the person you aspire to become. Embrace the process, trust the power of consistent effort, and watch as your expectations transform into tangible realities, not through passive waiting, but through purposeful doing. The future is not something you wait for, it's something you create. The idea that we create our future, rather than passively receive it, is profound. It's a stark contrast to the comfortable, yet ultimately disempowering, belief that good things simply happen to those who wait. Rohn continually challenged this passive mindset, asserting that waiting is not a strategy, it's a deferral of responsibility, an abdication of personal power. This isn't about discarding hope or ambition, it's about channeling those aspirations into tangible, relentless effort. Why do we often find ourselves in this waiting game? Often, it's rooted in fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of not being good enough. Sometimes, it's a quest for perfection, convincing ourselves that we must have every detail meticulously planned, every possible obstacle accounted for, before taking the first step. We tell ourselves we need more information, more resources, or the right time. But as Rohn would famously point out, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. The perfect time rarely arrives. It's something we create through our readiness and willingness to act, imperfections and all. This perpetual waiting is a subtle form of self-sabotage, masquerading as prudence. It keeps us in a state of perpetual readiness, but never actual progress, leaving us stuck in an endless loop of aspiration without realization. Consider the aspiring entrepreneur who waits for the perfect market conditions or the ideal investor to magically appear. Or the writer who waits for a burst of inspiration or a block of uninterrupted time before putting pen to paper. Rohn deeply understood that life doesn't hand you ideal scenarios on a silver platter. It presents opportunities amidst chaos, challenges intertwined with potential. Waiting for everything to align perfectly is like waiting for all the traffic lights to turn green before you start your car. You'll never leave your driveway. True progress comes from navigating the imperfect, adjusting on the fly, and making the most of what you have right now. The greatest innovations often emerge from imperfect beginnings, from individuals who dared to start before they felt completely ready, proving that action often clarifies the path forward far better than passive contemplation. This is precisely where the start acting component truly shines, liberating us from the paralysis of waiting. It doesn't demand a grand, heroic leap into the unknown every single day. Instead, it champions the profound power of incremental action, the cumulative effect of small, disciplined steps taken consistently over time. Think of it like building a magnificent structure brick by brick. Each brick on its own might seem insignificant, but laid consistently and correctly, they eventually form a sturdy wall, then a room, and ultimately, an entire edifice. Rohn's philosophy encourages us to identify the smallest possible action that moves us closer to our goal and commit to doing it regularly, transforming daunting aspirations into manageable daily tasks. This isn't just theory. It's a verifiable principle known as the compound effect. Take the person aiming for better health. Waiting for motivation to hit, or for an extreme diet plan to miraculously appear, leads nowhere. But deciding to walk for 20 minutes every day, and incrementally increasing that duration or intensity, transforms their physical state over months. The writer who commits to 500 words daily, even if they feel uninspired, will have a full manuscript long before the one waiting for perfect inspiration. This consistent effort isn't always glamorous, and it rarely makes for dramatic movie scenes, yet it is profoundly effective. It's the silent, steady engine that drives real, lasting change, proving far more reliable than sporadic bursts of heroic, unsustainable effort. The discipline of daily small acts builds momentum, creates resilient habits, and carves a path towards success that passive waiting never could. At the heart of Rohn's powerful message is the profound call to take absolute ownership of your life. This means shedding the victim mentality, the pervasive tendency to blame external circumstances like the economy, your boss, your upbringing, or sheer bad luck for your current situation. When you cease expecting others or outside forces to deliver your desired outcomes, you reclaim your inherent power. You stop waiting for rescue and start becoming your own rescuer, your own architect of destiny. This crucial shift in perspective is incredibly liberating. It doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means viewing them as solvable problems and opportunities for growth, rather than as insurmountable barriers. Your success, your happiness, your personal growth, these become your direct responsibility, and that realization, while initially daunting, is ultimately incredibly empowering, putting the steering wheel firmly back in your capable hands, allowing you to chart your own deliberate course. The most challenging aspect of starting to act is often the very beginning. Inertia is a powerful force. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. The fear of making the wrong choice, the discomfort of leaving the familiar, or the sheer overwhelming nature of a large goal can paralyze us. Jim Rohn understood this human tendency deeply. His counter-advice was simple yet profound. Just start. Don't worry about the perfect first step. Worry about a first step. Breaking down a large goal into minuscule, manageable actions makes it less intimidating. If you want to run a marathon, you don't start by running 26 miles. You start by putting on your running shoes. If you want to launch a business, you don't need a multi-million-dollar investment immediately. You start by researching your idea, talking to potential customers, or creating a simple prototype. The act of initiating, however small, generates momentum and often clarifies the next steps. It transforms an abstract wish into a concrete movement forward, building confidence with each step. This initial momentum is crucial, as it provides the energy to keep going, turning potential into progress, one deliberate action at a time. It's about building a bridge through consistent effort, rather than wishing for one to magically appear. This foundational belief in the power of the first step, no matter how small or imperfect, is what truly differentiates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the active decision to fully engage with reality, to carve out your own destiny, piece by painstaking piece, that defines the path to genuine fulfillment and lasting success. This foundational belief in the power of the first step, no matter how small or imperfect, is what truly differentiates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the active decision to fully engage with reality, to carve out your own destiny, piece by painstaking piece, that defines the path to genuine fulfillment and lasting success. Now, let's dig deeper into what this truly means and how we can integrate it into our lives, moving beyond passive hope towards powerful personal agency. When Jim Rohn urged us to stop expecting, he wasn't advocating for pessimism or an end to setting ambitious goals. Far from it. What he was addressing was a prevalent human tendency, the habit of placing our hopes and the responsibility for our future squarely on external factors. It's the subtle, insidious expectation that someone else will discover our talent, that the economy will magically improve to our benefit, or that an unforeseen stroke of luck will suddenly pave our way to success. This kind of expectation is a trap because it disempowers us. It turns us into spectators in our own lives, waiting for the universe to deliver what we believe we deserve, rather than actively constructing it ourselves. Think about it. How many truly brilliant ideas have withered because their creators were waiting for the perfect investor, the perfect team, or the perfect market timing, instead of just taking the initial, imperfect step? The answer, tragically, is far too many. This passive expectation is often a disguised form of procrastination, born out of a fear of failure, a fear of judgment, or even a fear of the effort required. But what does start acting truly entail? It's not about haphazard, frantic motion. It's about deliberate, purposeful action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Jim Rohn famously taught that success isn't about revolutionary, earth-shattering events. It's the cumulative result of small disciplines, practiced consistently over time. Imagine someone who wants to learn a new language. Expecting might mean waiting for a fully immersive trip to Europe or a highly anticipated new app. Acting, however, means committing to 15 minutes of study every single day, regardless of how motivated they feel. It's downloading a basic language app, listening to foreign music, or even just learning 5 new words a day. These are not glamorous actions, but they are incredibly powerful because they are consistent. They build momentum. They create a foundation. One of the biggest obstacles to acting is the paralyzing grip of perfectionism. We often wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, or for ourselves to feel ready before we even begin. This quest for perfection is another form of expectation, expecting an ideal scenario to present itself. But Jim Rohn's philosophy challenges this directly. He understood that action creates clarity, not the other way around. You don't need to see the entire staircase to take the first step, as Martin Luther King Jr. famously said. The act of starting, even imperfectly, provides invaluable feedback. It reveals what works, what doesn't, and what adjustments are needed. It allows us to learn, adapt, and refine our approach in real time. Without that initial action, we remain stuck in the realm of speculation and untested ideas. The path to mastery is paved with countless small, imperfect actions, not one grand, flawless leap. This brings us to the critical role of discipline. Jim Rohn often contrasted discipline with motivation, suggesting that while motivation might get you started, discipline is what keeps you going. Motivation is fleeting, a surge of emotion that comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is the unwavering commitment to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the conscious choice to act according to your goals and values, rather than your transient moods. When you commit to writing for 30 minutes a day, regardless of inspiration, that's discipline. When you choose a healthy meal even when a tempting alternative is available, that's discipline. Discipline is not a restriction. It's a profound form of freedom. It frees you from the tyranny of your fluctuating feelings and empowers you to consistently move towards your desired future. It transforms the vague wish into a concrete habit, a reliable engine for progress. Furthermore, the act of stopping expecting profoundly shifts our locus of control. Instead of viewing ourselves as passive recipients of circumstance, starting acting positions us as the architects of our own lives. This isn't about blaming ourselves for past misfortunes, but about taking radical responsibility for our present and future. It's a liberating realization that while we cannot control every external event, we absolutely control our responses, our efforts, and our continuous actions. This mindset of ownership is incredibly empowering. When you own your journey, you also own your power to navigate challenges, to learn from setbacks, and to relentlessly pursue your vision. It means understanding that the quality of your life is not determined by what happens to you, but by what you do about what happens. Think about the profound compounding effect of these consistent, disciplined actions. A tiny investment made regularly can grow into a fortune over decades. A few pages read daily can lead to mastering a complex subject. A consistent exercise routine, however moderate, can transform health and well-being. These aren't magic. They are the natural consequence of consistent action. Rohn understood that life doesn't hand out rewards based on wishful thinking. It responds to consistent effort and commitment. The person who acts, learns, adjusts, and persists will inevitably create a different outcome than the person who merely waits and hopes. Every single action, no matter how insignificant it seems in isolation, is a brick laid in the foundation of your future success. Ultimately, the message "Stop expecting and start acting" is an invitation to engage fully with life, to become a proactive participant rather than a passive observer. It's a call to embrace the messy, imperfect reality of creation, to find empowerment in effort, and to build your desired future, one deliberate action at a time. Your potential isn't unlocked by waiting for ideal conditions. It's unlocked by the courage to begin, the discipline to continue, and the resilience to learn from every step along the way. So, what's one small, imperfect action you can take today to shift from expecting to acting? The answer to that question is where your transformation truly begins. The answer to that question is where your transformation truly begins. It's not in grand gestures or miracles, but in the consistent, daily decisions to move forward with purpose. Rohn's powerful insight, "Stop expecting and start acting," isn't just a phrase. It's a fundamental blueprint for a life of purpose, fulfillment, and genuine achievement. Throughout our discussion, we've explored how expectation traps us in passivity, waiting for external forces, a lucky break, a mentor, ideal circumstances, to pave our way. This mindset erodes personal agency, cultivating a victim mentality, and convincing us our progress relies on factors beyond our control, leading to stagnation and regret. We blame external situations instead of harnessing our intrinsic power. Rohn teaches that true freedom and progress come from shedding this passive waiting, from dismantling mental barriers that claim we need permission or perfect conditions to begin. Conversely, start acting is an empowering declaration of personal sovereignty and self-reliance. It's the profound recognition that every dream, ambition, and desired outcome is preceded by deliberate, consistent effort. Whether it's the daily discipline of improving a skill, the courage to take an imperfect first step into a new venture, or committing to small financial sacrifices for long-term growth, action remains the indispensable bridge. It transforms abstract desires into tangible realities. Success isn't something that happens to you. It's something you create through daily choices, unwavering commitment, and persistent, intelligent effort. You don't need a perfectly clear path, only the willingness to bravely take that crucial next step. So, as we conclude this powerful message, let this be your personal call to arms. Don't let these insights from Rohn become just another piece of motivational content consumed and forgotten. Take a crucial moment, right now, to firmly solidify that one small, impactful action you identified earlier. Make an unbreakable commitment to yourself to diligently execute it. This is your unique life, your expansive canvas, and your magnificent masterpiece is waiting to be painted through your intentional, deliberate actions. You are the undeniable architect of your destiny, with all essential tools firmly within your grasp. Your future doesn't passively wait. It is actively built, one purposeful action at a time, starting today. If this message resonated, Please hit the like button to help spread this crucial wisdom. Share this video with anyone who could benefit, and subscribe to our channel for more insights that empower you to take charge of your life. Thank you for watching.